welcome to the finale of our of season 3's thoughts. Of our thoughts on season 3.
Extreme spoilers ahead.
Because this episode was leaked early by Bubba Stevens.
We don't have to think of this one.
So it starts out off with Steven floating into space, and yeah, Steven, and then until
Eyeball.
we're just gonna be referring to her as Idol. And for this,
I'll just call her Eyeball for one video since it's quicker.
Yeah.
So, Steven, a lot of people might not agree with their names. Yeah, so Steven and Eyeball are stuck floating through space. And
what?
And
he's trying to convince her that he's actually he's Rose. But
even despite showing on his shield and the gel, she doesn't believe it, saying that instead that it looks more of a pinkish red than a reddish pink.
What is she thinking of, a rhodochrosite?
She says it's the same. That's the same. Reddish pink and pinkish red are. I'm pretty sure those colors are almost identical.
Yeah. What gem was she thinking of? Oh. So then they're in an asteroid belt, and this happens.
And they get and Eyeballs being a badass, dodging all the asteroids and they go through a ring until an asteroid had whacks her straight in the gem and cracks her.
So
Steven ends up using a new power, extending a bubble around her.
And then we see the most awkward thing ever.
You're close to Io.
And then she
and then it just licks her. Then what was that about?
Then she realizes, and we learn gems depending on their placement.
They don't always have the same weapon.
Such as
Eyeball has a dagger,
which it makes her look even more like a fucking pirate. The one eye, the tiny small sword,
the aggression and betrayal. She is a fucking pirate, Ruby.
So, what would the other Ruby's weapons be? Would they also be daggers? It would be funny to see Leggy pulling a dagger out. That would be pretty funny. So then they get into a fight. Then Steven, like a badass. Yeah, Owen says, dude.
So,
She says she wants to take a route of Steven and Chen back to Homeworld, and do you even remember the quote?
Yeah.
Oda, what it'll give her?
She'll get her own pearl.
Yes, this is what we learn. Higher ups,
gems that have done something incredible or are higher up get their own pearls.
Yeah, I wonder what a red pearl would look like.
You know what? I think it could happen. I think she'd get like a link to her pearl, and it would have it on her left, and her pearl would have her gem on her right eye, and they'd be able to see with each other's eyes.
Yeah. Also, this confirms that the rubies pretty much died. After he knocks him out, knocks her out of the bubble.
Just floated straight into space.
And this pretty much implies that all 5 of them died.
Yeah.
And were killed from asteroids.
So Eyeball is trying. I'm to stab Steven right in the
However,
but Steven makes the hardest decision. He has to pop the bubble for a moment and toss the Eyeball straight out into space.
That was the first time, one of the hardest things he had to do. And then we see the gem ship, which I thought the rubies were trying to retrieve her, but I retrieve him. God damn it!
It
was actually the gem.
We see that Pearl is piloting the ship and found Steve.
And Guardian and Amethyst are there. They they retrieve him. And then Love Like You starts playing. And
also, this is like the second episode to make Noah cry.
So so Steven's just sitting, and he asks, "Was that?"
And that's why Rose really shattered him dying. And
Rose wasn't always the best person.
She had to make tough decisions.
She freed, she let him. So
Earth was Pink Diamond's colony,
and that's
she controlled the planet. The gems wouldn't leave unless Pink Diamond either gave up the colony or it would take it from her.
So what happened? What happened in Rose?
Time to shatter.
And this gave Pearl's freedom, so Garnet could be together. And what about Amethyst? What about Amethyst?
You know, this could be yourself.
Oh, and so it ends with them returning to Earth, and then Earth on a nice note, on a heartwarming note.
And
that's the season. That's season 3.
Tomorrow,
the start of a new millennium.
It's the kindergarten kid.
Now, the afterthought. Our afterthought. So he mentioned this was the second episode. Made me cry. That was true. It was the end. The ending did that.
You're so sad. So
also,
yeah. So this does tip for the rubies have different weapons.
So theories of what the other 4's weapons were.
So it seems to be determined by their gem placement.
Well, Knuckles would still have a gauntlet.
The rubies that have gems on their arms tend to have gauntlets as weapons.
Such as
we see with the Mega Ruby Fusion, just had a plain gauntlet, meaning all 3 of them had the same weapon.
For some reason, Shoal had one.
Since, technically speaking, it would be kind of awkward to reach over your elbow every time you had to grab your weapon. So it would be more logic if it just zapped.
So what would the others, the other 4's, or the other 3's weapons be? Since I'm saying that in that Shoal was the same aim gem we saw in the answer.
I'm saying that Leggy, instead of having a gauntlet, would have a boot.
You mean cleats?
No, she got just a normal kicking boot.
Not to mention how it would be just cute to see.
It would be adorable.
Stummy
would have.
This is like the second. This is like the third stomach gem we've seen.
The only one we've seen start on a weapon.
Evan. So what? What would Stummy have?
His weapon. I would assume it would be like. I don't know what her weapon would be. That one's a little up in the air.
Chester's weapon.
I think it would also be a dagger.
Or the chest gem. And also we see another cracked gem. I mean, it doesn't exactly feel like it. So, as I probably said about cracking and corruption,
they're different things, but they can one can cause the other.
Well, I don't know if I count spazzing as in.
She did look like she could have started to become corrupt. Due to the fact that.
And it's only when it's cracking and leads.
Also, she became like a little chibi Ruby for a minute there, with like just no arms or legs.
Also,
it's adorable.
Can you play the bagpipe? In memory of the rubies. A loving memory of the rubies. They were strong opponents. Opponents. Is that in their own following. In their own personalities. However, the depths of space. However, they will be forever missed in the depths of space.
The Ruby Squad.
Oh yeah, if you're wondering what happened to the Knuckle Ruby,
she probably died during the war.
She probably got shattered. Due to the fact that she's not part of the squad.
then again, there are tons of rubies, so...
Thousands.
I do get a feeling that due to the fact that the show it makes nods to the past, I do believe that shoulder ruby, since it has the exact same cutting gem as the one in the answer, I do get a feeling that is the same gem.
How did it survive 5,750 years? Don't ask.
Same way Eidolon did.
Yeah, same. I forgot to mention in Back to the Moon, Eidolon said this line.
Yeah.
Say it.
Yeah.
I almost
dissipated my form.
And that's pretty much saying, I almost pissed myself. Obscene. So, yeah. See you guys in tomorrow's episode of The Kindergarten Kid. Also, Alex accidentally read a post he thought was real.
There would be a sad song about Rube Squirts.
But I guess that was probably fake.
Yeah. So anyways, what's your rating?
9.5.
You can't give it a 0.5. Either it's a 10 or a 9.
A 9.
Really?
Yeah, a 9. What?
I'm actually kind of confused.
Why?
You ended up crying on us.
Did I give my other episodes a 9?
Yeah, you gave Bismuth a 10.
That's because it actually showed how to make a long episode.
Yeah, but you can't just say a short episode won't be good.
Okay, it is a 10, but not my new favorite episode.
Mine's a 10 too.
Good God, look at my eye.
So,
okay, see you guys tomorrow. For The Kindergarten Kid.
See you then.
She won't outlast.
Okay.